I'm Jeremy Miner, founder and CEO of Seventh Level. Welcome once again to the NEPQ sales system. It's my personal mission with this program to train you to dramatically improve your sales ability so that you can effortlessly close more sales without being the awkward, pushy salesperson that no one likes. You know what I mean by that. I got started in sales over 17 years ago as a broke, burned out college student, struggling month to month, barely making any money. And I got to a point after several weeks that I thought, maybe selling just wasn't for me. Have you ever felt that way yourself? But through persistence, I became one of the top internationally rated and highest paid salespeople on planet Earth. And I did so by getting rid of the old traditional selling techniques that actually trigger what's called sales resistance. I developed a new model for the new economy, an era that we live in today. Now, let me ask you this question. When you think of sales or selling, what's the first word that comes into your mind? Well, according to a study done by Daniel Pink, he's the author of several books, including the best-selling To Sell is Human, the most common words that come to most people's minds are these: pushy, yuck, difficult, dishonest, sleazy, annoying, manipulative. This is a graphic representation of 25 adjectives and interjections people in that study offered most frequently when prompted to think of sales or selling, with the size of each word showing how many people pick that word. You see, the bigger the font means the more people pick that word. As I just mentioned, the word pushy was the number one most mentioned word or adjective that respondents picked. The words important and essential are the tiniest, as they were mentioned the least. You see, adjectives can reveal people's attitudes since they often contain an emotional component that nouns lack. As you can see, the emotions from the words sales and selling carry an undeniable flavor. Of the 25 most offered words, only 5 contain anything positive, necessary, fun, essential, important, and challenging. The other 20 words were completely negative. A few of the words reflect people's discomfort with selling, that it's tough, it's hard, it's painful, it's difficult, while most reflect their distaste for salespeople. Words like pushy and yuck are the most used, along with others that suggest deception like slimy, sleazy, dishonest, they're fake, they're manipulative. As you can plainly see, selling makes many of us uncomfortable and a bit disgusted. Why? Well, most of it has to do with the way we communicate or think we have to communicate. Traditional selling techniques taught by what I call the old sales gurus cause today's consumers to run the other way when these techniques are used on them. Now, question number 2 of that study was this, and I'm going to ask you to think about it. When you think of sales or selling, what's the first picture that comes to your mind? What's the first picture? Now take a look at the results from the most popular 25 answers. The top 5 responses by a very wide margin were these: car salesman, man in a suit, used car salesman, and here's our friend, the word pushy. The respondents also used the term shark, and many in the test group couldn't resist offering adjectives such as slick, annoying, aggressive, and sleazy. You see, these beliefs about you, the salesperson, are embedded in pretty much every prospect you talk to about what you sell. Prospects believe that sales is distasteful because it's deceitful, and it's what you're going up against every single day, every single week, and every month of the year. For better or for worse, consumers now view salespeople much like the typical used car salesman. So whether you're talking about your products, your services, your company, or anything, most consumers think you are out to get them. They think that you have your own agenda of putting your own interest in front of theirs. They expect you to overpromise and underdeliver, and that we're going to cherry pick stats to try and prove our point on why they should buy from us. This is what you go up against every day. And for you, do you experience some anxiety or nervousness in selling due to the thought of you being rejected? And be real with me here. Hey, I can relate. And this is a normal part of the traditional sales process. The truth is, most salespeople do experience a lot of anxiety when selling because they don't want to be rejected. It's your greatest fear. In this program, I'll teach you how to eliminate the cause of rejection. Now, I'm not going to do that by teaching you mental Jedi tricks or trying to hypnotize you or tell you got to be tougher and grow thick skin or have you listen to some motivational CDs to pump you up before you make every sales call. We all know those things don't work anyway. They tend to wear off. I'm going to do that by helping you change the way you communicate so you stop losing so many sales that you really should be making for yourself, the company you represent, and your family. You will learn to sell like you never have before by genuinely connecting with your prospects, helping them overcome their own concerns and objections, and closing more sales without being the pushy, sleazy, disrespected salesperson. Who wants to be that person? Now, a lot of people ask me, Jeremy, will this work for what I sell? I sell XYZ product that's so unique that it has to be sold a certain super duper way. Or they might say, hey, Jeremy, I'm not a salesperson. I am a business owner, or I'm a coach or a consultant. How will this help me? Well, here's the truth. We're all in sales now. Even if you don't get paid for a commission for a sale, you're still out there trying to persuade, influence, and convince others on a daily basis. You're in the business of moving others. My system works for any product or service you'll ever sell. So whether you're an entrepreneur, an independent contractor, an employee, a consultant, a coach, a professor, attorney, or politician, it doesn't matter. You're in the business of moving others. I'll give you a few examples. If you're an entrepreneur trying to get your employees to buy into your vision for your company, you're trying to influence, persuade, and move others. If you're an independent contractor or coach who's trying to get more clients, you're in the business of moving others. If you're an attorney who's trying to convince a judge that your client is innocent, you're in the business of persuasion and moving others. Here's some more examples. If you're an employee trying to convince your boss to give you a pay raise, right? You're in the business of moving others. If you're a politician, for heck's sake, we got all this politics stuff all the time, and you're out there trying to get people to vote for you, you are in the business of persuasion and moving others. By going through this training step by step, you're going to be able to maximize your income potential by learning to be a far more persuasive person. You're going to get the tools and techniques to follow that's going to give you repeatable and predictable results. Think about that for a second. Sales training that gives you repeatable and predictable results. Our system works for any product or service in any industry. So I hope wherever you're at, you take these lessons with you. Where do you want to go? Are you looking to increase your income or just stay at the exact income you're at now?
But I don't know which one the fuck you want. Increase. That's you. Increase. You want to increase your income.
I thought you'd be with me on that. I'm nothing special. I wasn't born a superstar salesperson out of my mother's womb. In fact, I'm no different from you. I was born in Arkansas, for heck's sake, and I later grew up in a town in the middle of Missouri that had less than 800 people in it. What's made the difference for me is I developed and mastered persuasion skills that work with human behavior, not against it. And once you've learned the same persuasion skills that I've learned, and you master the new model of selling, there's nothing that will hold you back from growing your ability as a sales professional. And I mean that when I say that to you. So here's how this is going to work. I've designed this program to be taken one brief chapter or lesson at a time, which I usually test you on with a short quiz. I'll also be asking you some interactive questions designed to get you to really think. And I'll give you exercises or assignments to complete that will help you anchor that lesson into your sales life. Now, I would not recommend that you go through all of the content at once. There is a lot to do, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed. So let's take this one step at a time. Agreed? Good. Now, I also encourage you to take notes, lots of notes, which you can do right in each chapter of the program. Just click on the My Notes tab, just type away. Then when you've completed the entire program, you'll actually get a personalized certificate of completion that shows you are certified in the new model of selling, and you can print it out and proudly display. One of the great features of this program is that you can repeat any of the lessons as many times as you need to make sure that you're comfortable with the concepts and techniques that you'll be learning. Okay, before we move on, let me point out another great feature of this interactive program. When I say interactive program, I mean it. What you experienced a few moments ago was an example of the interactivity that you'll be encountering throughout this program. Now, don't sweat it. You aren't being graded on your responses to the interactive questions or anything. We're just using them to help you train more effectively and efficiently. Now, I know that I told you that each chapter is going to end with a quiz, and that's true for most of the chapters, except this one. I don't have a quiz for you this time. So when you're ready, meet me in the next chapter where we're going to answer the question, what's the biggest problem in sales? I'll see you there.